One of the things that I love about my job as an interventionist is I get to spend time in a lot of different classrooms. So I've gotten to see a lot of different management styles in classrooms from kindergarten all the way up through sixth grade. And there, in my opinion, are a few really consistent characteristics that kind of transcend just good student behavior. So for me, some of the best managed classroom feel safe, purposeful, and engaging. So, kind of the first step in that, I feel, is when the routines and expectations are explicitly clear to the students. I had the opportunity to work in a third grade classroom this year, getting to do some enrichment with students. And when I walked into that classroom every day, those students knew exactly what to do when I walked in. They knew it was time for MTSS. Everybody already knew what group they went to. Like there was no time wasted. So the students knew exactly where to go, what their expectations were, what they needed to have with them. And because of that, the classroom ran so smooth. So the teacher did not have to waste a lot of time managing those transitions, correcting behavior. She didn't need to micromanage what was happening in the classrooms. The students understood the structure and they really rose to meet those expectations. So I think classrooms that have very well laid out expectations is key. The second thing I've noticed is classrooms that have a really strong sense of respect and relationships. So I got to spend some time in a fifth grade classroom. I would kind of go in every morning. This teacher had a really difficult class and she was really struggling to get through, especially the second half of the year. So I made it a point to just go in every morning and kind of give the students a challenge problem. So just something that they could work on if they had some free time throughout the day. And the thing I noticed is that teacher worked to build genuine connections with her students. And because she knew their interests, their strengths, maybe some of their challenges, those students built a trust in that classroom and they were willing to take risks. They were way more likely to stay on task and really engage deeply in what they were learning, not just from that teacher, but even when I would come in. So they were not afraid to make mistakes. They weren't afraid to get something wrong. They weren't afraid to ask questions. And I think a lot of that really was because this teacher made her classroom feel safe. And so those students knew that no matter what happened, it was okay to take a risk. It was okay, essentially, to fail. So that to me is like the second big crucial thing. So clear routines, creating a safe space. And then the last one I think is classroom management needs to really support student voice and creativity. So this kind of goes along with building those relationships. I think a classroom environment that really advocates for student voice and choice and creativity also just makes learning so much more impactful and just helps with classroom management as a whole. So a classroom environment that is calm and reassuring and supportive, not a silent classroom. This isn't compliance, but a classroom that is calm and that values movement and collaboration, I think is just more apt to have meaningful work happen. So this would be a teacher who's much more proactive than reactive. So a teacher who is constantly moving about the room, scanning the room, making small adjustments where needed throughout the day to make sure that the environment is calm and safe and supportive. And so what I have seen is some of the best managed classrooms don't just feel like a classroom. It truly feels like a community. So it's not just a classroom that has things in order, but it is a classroom that is truly empowering for students, that values every single student for what they bring to the classroom, and a classroom where students feel safe, not only to succeed, but a classroom that's safe to fail. I think that's important. And I am so lucky as an interventionist that I get to spend time in so many different classrooms and really get to kind of praise teachers for what they're building and helping them kind of use those management strategies to really further, especially math education. So I think that's pretty neat.